As we welcome you to the virtual Daytona International Speedway for a new and up-and-coming thing. Hopefully that can last a little longer. Hopefully longer than shorter, but High Velocity TV, open lobbies here on the High Velocity TV Broadcasting Network. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead commentator and producer for tonight's races here. First race of the night will be the O'Reilly machines here from Daytona International Speedway. Just 34 seconds left in qualifying. And currently, top of the board is going to be the number 10 machine of Timothy Rainey Lewis. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing their name right. It's going to be a interesting thing to see how we can do this, but looks like it's going to be a little short, little stint race, a little 20-lap race here for High Velocity TV guys. So it's going to be interesting to see who can come out on top here and put something together. See the red flag out. We'll get ready to go green here from Daytona, as we'll see a 14-car field for our inaugural race here for the High Velocity TV lobbies. Right on these cars to load in. We'll get ready to get you starting lineup here, presented by High Velocity TV here from Daytona. Drivers are out on track. Let's go ahead and get your starting lineup here, presented by High Velocity TV. You see Mitchell Conley in the number 23 going to be on that front row alongside Timothy Rainey Lewis in the 87 machine. It says the 10, but we're going to call it the 87 because he's got the 87 on the car. The 40 of Judd Ballou and Mike Simon in the 12 machine going to be that P2. We're going to be round out row 2. You see Austin Rafferty in the 4 alongside the 90 of Leo Lincina. Daniel Mosteller, Aladam Contreras, P7 and P8, and rounding out the top 10, Gavin Austin, Diego Acuna in that number 84 machine. There's 40, we're going to call it the 40 machine. And rounding out the field, Jared Farr in the 11, Kyle Wigglesworth in the number 18 machine, and Gary Galley, the 2 machine, going to round out that field in that number 2 machine. Waiting on the drivers' meeting to get done here, and we'll get ready to get going. 20 laps here from Daytona, so a little sprint race here to start off here for the High Velocity TV lobbies. As see our car set here right down pit road. We'll get ready to go green here once we get done with the drivers' meeting and get going for 20 laps here from Daytona. Get the pace car pull off now. We'll get ready to go green here for 20 laps once again. Taking a look at your race weather for the race 1. 78 degree air temp, track temp is 79 degrees. Obviously Daytona, so a lot of this isn't going to really mean a whole lot. 64% humidity, no wind, be partly cloudy tonight here from Daytona Beach, Florida. Once again, 20 laps here from Daytona. It's going to be a short one, so you're going to see a lot of aggression pull up here. It's going to be interesting to see how these drivers want to pull off this. Remember, you know, the O'Reilly machines have this new physics package, the new aero model and everything else, and it's going to be interesting to see who can, you know, take advantage, who has learned this car, who's put in the time into the energy and into the sim to figure out this new aero package. So it's going to be interesting to see and what we can call here, but you'll see, once again, the lights off on the pace car. We'll get ready to go. 20 laps here from Daytona. Under the lights here, the World Center of Racing. You know, what an iconic place to start off here, these high velocity TV lobbies. And a big shout out to Daniel Mosteller for putting in the money to host these races. You know, he loves doing these races, these community races, and was willing to chip in, you know, the put up the session here. But I got to give a huge shout out to Daniel Mosteller for that. We appreciate all the support he does here for High Velocity TV and the channel and everything here. But you do see the lights off, and we'll get ready to go. 20 laps here from Daytona. We'll get ready to go back into restart zone. We're green for 20 laps. Across the backstretch, little cars getting up to speed here, but you see that top side, a little bit of an advantage. The 87 out in front with the 12 trying to push him out in front, but you still see that bottom starting to get stacked up and backed in the accordion. You see that is the number 12 of Mike Simon, I believe, going to lead that bottom lane. But here comes the top. You see the 87 of Timothy going to drop down there and take that race lead for the first time. As you side by side for this front, everywhere around here, you're starting to see maybe potential 3 wide. No, see the 92 of Contreras. Try to look 3 wide on the 90 of Leo Lencina. They're going to keep that PT spot for now. Well, you know that 92 is going to be aggressive sooner or later to make that time up, make up those spots. Right now, that bottom line being the best lane right now. You see the 23 a little bit separated away from that 87, but we'll get back going here. We get ready to go through 3 and 4. The complete lap 2 right now. That bottom is not put together very well. That top's going to have a pretty big run. Help from the 90. That 12 will get side by side with the race leader in the 87 of Rainey Lewis. And here comes the 23. Conley going to push out that 87 out here in the corner entry. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, who can make moves here. Only 13 cars here that showed up here for this first race. Obviously, we know you can get pretty decent runs here in these O'Reilly machines, but there's not a big pack. There's not that big energy that you see in these higher, you know, fields that you see here at Daytona. It's going to be a little bit harder to, you know, get this run here, but here comes the 92. That's Contreras going to make it middle of 3. He's going to leave that 90 out to dry. He'll get cycled back to the back. Now it's going to be that 92. Aladam Contreras is going to go top of 3. They're wrecking in the back. Looks like not nothing to get a caution. It's going to be Aladam Contreras. Gavin Austin going to take advantage. They're going to be 1-2. They'll probably get down there. Drop the low. Here comes Gavin to drop to the bottom. Now it's going to be that 92 and that 6. That HVTV machine pushing that 92 M&M's machine out to the lead. Now hard to see now what only a 7-car pack. Hailing the longest line here. Daniel Mosteller in that 87 Tin Can Designs machine. Further on back is Gary Gowley in that number 2 machine trying to catch up, but unfortunately has already lost the back end of this draft. Going to need another wreck to get him back into the fight. Back up here towards the front, single file. Those first 7 cars in line, trying to make something happen. And right now, honestly, we saw that wreck early on lap number 3. I'm not surprised to see these guys sit single file. Try to keep these cars clean. Obviously, 7 cars. I mean, there's not really a lot to do now with the 7-car field. We talked about already having a small field now. Now it's even compressed to almost half of what we had already. You got Austin Rafferty, Leo Lencina back there in the 90 and the 4. They're down pit side, 1 lap down and 2 laps down respectively back there in P12 and P13. But, you know, you see even those cars who have lost the lead pack nowhere really around each other. Only cars who are kind of within drafting range is really, you know, this 9th and 10th place car, the 40 of Acuna, the 11 of Jared Farr, but they're 2-car pack, and with this new O'Reilly, you know, package, you can't really put something together, right, to make a run here. The only way that 11 and that 4 is going to even try to make some type of time is that 11's got to drag the brake a little bit, right? Let's ride on board with this 11. Let's look at this. look at the driver inputs and see if he's dragging brake, trying to do anything to get back here. I presume he's probably just full throttle here, full bore here, going down into 1 and 2. Yeah, no brakes being dragged at all here, but you see them slowly approaching the back end of this 2 machine. The Gary Galley will be consumed by them, but here comes side-by-side racing up here towards the front. Gavin Austin going to get help from the 12 machine. Mike Simon going to push that outside. You see the 92 of Contreras got shuffled out while we're looking for the battling back fourth. Now look at this top line with a lot of momentum, a lot of energy from this top side. Start lap 7. Gavin Austin will lead the top. Help from the 12 of Simon. Help from the 23 of Conley. We'll see the 87. Help from the 92 and from the other 87. That's Rainey Lewis, Contreras, and Mosteller down on the bottom side. You see a lap car approaching here very quickly. Leaders are going to catch him sooner or later. Here it is. That 90 car, that pink and yellow machine. Leo Lucina trying to get out of the way. He will try to do it safely. Going to get that apron. Going to try to merge back up here. Caution will wave, I believe. I wouldn't say. I thought that might have been a halfway caution, but probably a fun caution. Get everybody back up through the field here. Well, we'll get the opportunity to, I guess. Let's go ahead and talk to Daniel Mostelli. He was kind of the brainchild of this whole operation here, so see if we can talk to him and see, you know, maybe what his thought process was of doing this. Hey, Demos, it's Christian up here in the booth. I got a copy. Well, obviously, not the start of the race we wanted to see here early, but I wanted to kind of talk to you about, you know, you're kind of the brainchild of this whole hosted open lobby things. You know, what was the inspiration behind, you know, these high velocity TV lobbies, and what made you want to, you know, get this started up here on the network?
We had really good races. And I kind of stopped doing it, but you know, I won the MPI challenge thingy on the iRacing, you know, channels. You know, I got a bunch of iRacing credits, you know, and I wanted to give back to the community. And it was originally going to be Demos lobbies, and then it kind of just popped into my head, you know, what if we do something for the network, give back to the network, because I don't really do a lot other than take thumbnails and maybe pop in here and there. So yeah, that's kind of stemmed. But it was more of an idea at first, and then it kind of transitioned into reality tonight. Sorry, I'm trying to clear the black flags. Yeah, so it was just a random idea. We used to do the Super Speedway League, but that only survived for one race. Because we wanted to like revive that initially, and then, you know, just came up with in my mind, you know, maybe we do that for fun, and you know, here we are tonight. I did not think we were gonna do it, but Gavin kind of convinced me to do it. You know, here we are tonight. You know, we got not the biggest field in the world, but you got to start somewhere, and you know, 14 cars is not that bad. You know, we got one more tonight, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I definitely agree. Well, we appreciate your camaraderie here on the network. We'll drag you back down to keep admitting duty / racing duty, and hopefully we can talk to you up here maybe in Victory Lane. So,
thank you, man.
See Demos, he'll come back out of Pitt Road here and resume the field. Go back up towards the front. A lot of these drivers, obviously, for obvious reasons, have not come down Pitt Road. You know, a lot of these drivers, you know, towards the front. Don't have damage. Only ran 9 laps. No need to come down pit road, give up that pressure track position. So Gavin Austin will take the point once again. Mike Simon, Mitchell Conley, Jared Bellew, Kyle Wigglesworth back there in that, running out the top 5. And then you'll see Contreras, you know, someone who is a part of the community. You know, he he raced in kind of the pre-child of these HVTV lobbies back, you know, a little bit of a time capsule. Enar iRacing, you can probably look them up maybe on YouTube. Definitely, you can find some clips over on twitch.tv. But, you know, Contreras used to do, you know, these hosted lobbies that me and myself and Peter Terrio originally put on here. And, you know, for when it was originally called Enar. So, you know, Contreras been doing this for a while, and glad to see him racing here in our inaugural kind of hosted races here that Demos is putting on. It means a lot that they have some community members that, you know me, know the network, know Daniel, right? That who came out and did this first race. Obviously, we have one more race tonight. We're doing ARCA, I believe, back here at Daytona. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to go. And can't wait to see. Maybe we can get some more cars in the field. Maybe we might have some, you know, surprise drivers who show up and show out, and see what we can do. Well, we will be going green starting the second half of this race. Now cycle everybody back out the lead lap. We gave the 90 wave around here. That number 90 of Leo Lencina. So that number 90 machine will be back on the lead lap, back there in P12. So, and luckily for a small field, you know, this 90 doesn't really have a long ways to go if he wants to get back up towards the front. Obviously got caught up in a caution earlier. But lights off on the pace car. I'll take a hard left turn on the pit road. Gavin Austin, Mike Simon lead us back to green. We start the second half of this 20-lap heater here from Daytona. As Gavin Austin back in the restart zone, back green here from Daytona. But even jump by that front row to 12. Mike Simon going to be side by side with the 6 machine as they're waiting on help from behind. 22 is going to get to the 6 before the 40, and that's just because that top, someone made it pretty wide there on that top lane, and it held back that 40 machine of Judd Bellew. But he'll get back to the rear end of the 12. Now 23 could not get back to Gavin Austin in time. Now here comes 3 wide middle. Here comes Contreras in the 92. Took up that pushing position on the 12 car, but Gavin Austin, with all that checking up, gets clear of the field. You see him do a lot of aggressive blocking here to keep this race lead. You'll see him go up to the top now. He's a little bit of a run up top. He's going to try to be aggressive to keep it there. Now here comes Mike Simon to the bottom. He's going to, but now it's going to be Simon help from the 23, and now the 6 help from the 92. Austin Contreras, Simon Austin. No, Simon Conley. That bottom side. Everybody keeping it green, pretty stable right here. Right now we have one car who's kind of backed off the back end of this space. That's Gary Gali. See him start to fade back here. He might have lost the draft already. Very interesting call. I mean, obviously we saw a wreck earlier. Maybe trying to keep it clean and keep it green. The off. Oh, at the 92. Looks like contact with the 6. Gavin will let him have the spot. As soon as we go on an onboard, of course that's what happens. That's going to be 87-92, leading the top and the bottom. You see the top with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a run. 87 of Rainy Lewis. Drops down in front of the 92. Now Contreras will push that number in 87 out to the a little bit of contact further on back. Looks like they get it all sorted out. Now it's going to be Randy Lewis leading the field here, going into lap 14. That bottom really well stacked together. Not a whole lot of help on the top for now, but here comes some guys going to the top side. Randy Lewis help from the 40 of Diego Acuna. The 18 machine making his way up to the top side. Gavin trying to go up to the top, not going to make it work. Now you see 3, no, back to 2. That's going to be 92, pushed by the 6 of Gavin Austin. They're going to get a pretty big run there. That top side not linked together, and you'll see Gavin now pushing that 92 out side by side at the line. Give it to the 92. And Trace leads here going into lap 15. I've seen that 87 Marcelo kind of run towards the back now, but starting to slowly, methodically make his way up to the front. See Marcelo, that 4th car in line. We know he knows how to get it done here at Daytona. Doesn't matter what car, what track here. Dean Wilson's going to be up there at the front sooner or later. So 5 to go. It might be time to shine. It might be time to go, right? That top side getting a little scrambled up, getting a little bit of the core, and you see the 12. Oh, really sideways off the bumper. The 40 of Diego Acuna. That's really going to kill the top. That should get Gavin Austin and Aldam Contreras clear of this top side if they want to make a run here. That's exactly what they do. They'll jump up and top in front of the 87. Chris will jump down in front of the 23 now. It's this cat and mouse game. Oh, contact between the 23 and the 6. Now contacted between him and the 87. 23 all out of switch. That's Conley. Somehow Gavin Austin and Trace get linked back up, but no, here comes Gavin with the run on the bottom. Help from the 87 of Randy Lewis. Here comes Diego Acuna. Going to make that, going to fill in that void, and now the 92 goes from the lead all the way back outside the top 3, back in that P4 position, going to lap 17. Oh, you see 3 wide in the back there. 3 by 3, that's the 12, that's the 11, that's the 40. They try to sort everything out, but now 2 by 2, once again up here for this race lead. Gavin Austin, help from the 40 of Acuna on the bottom. And the 87 of Randy Lewis, help from the 92 of Contreras. Now Contreras will jump out and dump out that 87 here. If the 87 tries to clear, no, it's not going to have the space. Here comes the 6 once again with a huge push down here out of 3 and 4, going into the tri-oval. We approach 3 to go here from Daytona. Contreras on the point once again. A huge push by the 6 of Austin. We get to the back end of the 92, and now here comes the top side with the run. Once again, that 87 of Randy Lewis going to push out that 6. Here comes Mostelli in the 87, going to be that 3rd car and land on top. Oh, wrecking in the back. That's the 23. That's the 11. Only a 2-car pileup. I don't really think that negates a caution here. Back up front. Then we get a 6 to 87, and that's the 18. Kyle Wigglesworth, not Gigglesworth. My apologies, Kyle. 92 of Contreras. Back there in that P4 position. A little bit of a gap back to P5. That's the 12 of Mike Simon. Diego Acuna back there in P6. Or maybe that 12 is trying to back up around here. Going to get help from the 40. Try to push him back out. He's going to maybe try to jump out of line here. We'll see if he lifts or if he turns the wheel to the right to make a run. It looks like he'll lift and get back in line behind the 92 of Contreras. Here comes Mostelli with a run. Trying to make them work on that top side. There's Gavin with a big block to the 87. Not going to be able to be clear, though. Contact with the 18 now. 3 wide, now back to 2 wide for the race lead. 2 to go. White flag in the air. Now Gavin's kind of left out to dry here. He's going to have the 82. The 92, my apologies, going to leave him out. Oh, a big block on the 18. That's exactly what Maselli wants to see. I'm getting all stalled out here, but here comes Gavin with a huge run. He's going to go top. Now going to go bottom. Maselli trying to block. It's going to be Gavin Austin, Daniel Maselli, side by side up here. You're going to see some contact. Here comes Contreras, bottom of 3. 3 wide going into 3 and 4. Contact between the 6 and the 92. The 6 trying to side draft. Now here comes the 87. Going to bump the 92. Photo finish across the line. Give it to... I can't call it. Gavin Austin by 1,000th of a second. Wins race 1 here from Daytona. We'll go back and see if we can find that. Holy moly. Let's see if we can go back in the replay and look at that replay. How close that was for the win. I don't think this my cameras have a start finish line cam, unfortunately. Even go zoomed in cam here on the 6 machine. Cross the line here. Photo finish. Gavin wanted a photo finish here not that recently here in these O'Reilly machines. And we'll try to slow it down here for you fans at home. That is unbelievable. Try to back it up for you guys. And I wish it would show a little bit of a different camera angle here. We'll go back up to Gavin Austin. A photo finish. That's close. I mean, you're not going to get a lot closer than that. Gavin Austin by half a nose here. Wins the race 1 here from Daytona. What a race. We'll continue to see the 6 burn it down here on the start finish line. Guess we'll talk to the 6 of Gavin Austin. See what his opinion on that race was. Hey Gavin, is Christian up here in the HVTV booth? Got a copy?
I do, Christian. Good hearing your voice, man.
Well, congratulations on race 1 here from Daytona. Photo finish between you and Mosteller and Contreras. Walk us through those last couple laps.
Obviously it's our first HVTV lobbies night, and I'm rocking the HVTV car. I gotta get it in victory lane, so I was just kind of racing really aggressive. Maybe a little bit too aggressive at some points, but I was honestly just racing aggressive, and I knew that Contreras was gonna go up and help Demos. So I was kind of pinching Demos up against the wall, and then Contreras tried to make the move to my inside. I went for the block, and he was able to get to my inside. And of course we were 3 wide coming to the finish there. I know the other 87, I think it's Timothy. He was coming up, and I think he also gave Andres a bit of a push out of turn 4 there. So I honestly wasn't sure if I had a shot once he got that push, but he kind of died out with the side draft, and I was able to get him just barely at the line. I mean, what a close finish. I haven't personally seen it, but I've heard about it. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to take a look at it.
Definitely a photo finish for you and everybody involved there. But congratulations, Gavin. Not only on your first win, but the inaugural win here in the HVTV lobbies.
Yeah, no, thank you, Christian. I'm looking forward to the next one. We're gonna do ARCA at Talladega.
Can't wait to see that. But we'll drag you back down and hopefully we can talk to you a little bit later on in the stream.
Thank you, thank you.
Gavin Austin wins race 1 here. Photo finish here from Daytona. Like that, race 1 over. So we were going to go ahead and pull up your thumbnail right here. And get ready to get into that next session. we'll just wait. And remember, it does take a couple minutes to get into these new sessions, so we'll just try to communicate wisely. So, but what a first race here from Daytona, and I can't wait to see what Arca can do at Talladega for our final race of the night. And we'll call it a night here. Obviously, we just got done calling the AWC Pro Series um, race week 8 from Kansas Speedway. We had Matthew Perchatsky and Andreas Fares up in the booth. So really, really good call up in there as well. But we're gonna get ready to get back in the sim as soon as that session goes up, and we'll do some Talladega racing as soon as we can. But I'm gonna use the restroom real quick here, so we're gonna go ahead and maybe let's see if we can like pull up some guys while we are away for a second. Go ahead and like play some intro music here for you guys for now. Back just in the nick of time. We'll see if we can find that posted session. Looks like it's just up right now. So go ahead and try to get back into this lobby and ready to do some Talladega racing here from in the ARCA cars. Hopefully we can get a decent field. We appreciate everybody coming in and watching the chat tonight. 5 concurrent viewers, we'll take it here for our first ever, kind of hosted race we do, and we appreciate all the love and support. Slide Racing knows who to push. Yeah. I presume that's probably Timothy up in the chat. We appreciate you stopping in and racing with us tonight here. If there's anybody new in the chat, if you don't mind dropping that subscribe button, hitting that like on the broadcast, we definitely appreciate it. Just kind of a new thing that we're doing here. Obviously, we talked to Daniel Mosteller in that first race to get his opinion on why he wanted to do this, and it's super cool to see other people in the community giving back to other people in the community. It's super cool to see that come up and about. So we are just moments away from getting into the sim and getting ready to go some super speedway racing here up in booth. There we go. I think we're loading in enough. Maybe. Here we are. We're out on track here. Practice underway here from Talladega, 9 minutes. I just believe this just to get, you know, drivers in here to stir up and try to get some more people in here. Right now, only like 7 people, 8 people here on track. So hopefully we can continue to get some drivers to come in here and race this second race here from Talladega. Go ahead and take your thumbnail off. As you see Daniel Mosteller, the 77 of Timothy Rainey Lewis in that Hendrick Cars machine. Jose Sanchez, that 28 machine. Look at that car. Snap-on machine. I like that car. It's really like, it's like, it looks really mean, right? I like that, right? Gives me kind of like, you know, old school, like, you know, 28 Havoline car vibes, and I like that a lot. Reminds me of a good friend of mine. More cars coming in. Carter Kingsley, Mississippi, Judd Ballou comes back. Jacob Wallace up into the session. Really cool to see these guys out on track. You know, this little 3-car pack trying to make way. See if we can talk to Carter Kingsley. He's going to make his way into the booth here if he gets out on track. Hey, Carter, Christian up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, Christian, I do.
Well, obviously kind of a big day here on the channel. You know, our first kind of open lobby hosted races that we're doing here on the channel. Obviously, you missed race 1, the Xfinity machines at Daytona, but looks like you're in the session here for the ARCA cars here from Talladega. You know, what's the mindset? Like, what's the excitement level for something like this here on the channel?
Well, I love hosting lobbies. Firstly, you don't gotta really worry about your ratings. You just get to worry about your talent and having fun with your buddies. And on top of that, it's broadcasted, so you know, there's some other communities I think that a lot of us like to take part in that aren't as active anymore, and it's just nice to get back into the swing of things, especially with people that you enjoy racing with, being friends with. But yeah, I didn't get to see the finish for Xfinity last race, but I heard it was a banger.
You'll definitely have to go back and watch the broadcast to see that one. But yeah, obviously the ARCA car, you know, I feel like it's one of the, it is kind of the car that I don't think I've had a lot of experience on the super speedways with here. But obviously gonna potentially hope to put on some good racing here from Dega.
Yeah, and the thing is, since it's not an official, we don't have to worry about those X's, which ARCA is infamously known for, having some pretty rough X situations. So we should be able to pretty much go full out. And yeah, I haven't really had much experience in this car either. Only the old Gen 4 ARCA, but I'm assuming, you know, lower horsepower, we're probably going to be pretty stacked up, and it's going to be pretty momentum based. But just got to see how it plays out.
We'll just have to see. Well, we get you good luck in the rest of the race, and we'll hopefully see maybe this UC Riverside team back in victory lane.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out Matthew Perchatsky.
We appreciate Carter for coming in and talking to us up in the booth, and yeah. Obviously, you heard Matthew up here in the HVT booth not that long ago, calling the AWC Pro Series race, as he's, you know, made the HVTV, you know, a mainstay here, and, as he's, you know, he's working his way up the ladder well as well. 5 Velocity TV going to try to make his way into a lead commentator here on the network, and working his way and working hard to get up there. So, really excited for what Matthew has for the future of this channel and the future of just is in commentary. You know, Matthew likes to do it for fun, but also if you've watched, you know, some of the past broadcasts, does a really good job at, you know, being knowledgeable just about the sport, right? That's a huge plus of just going in and just having fun in the booth, is being knowledgeable and knowing what to talk about and knowing where to look for racing, right? There's a lot of people that come in here and just think, oh, you just go in there and call a race, it's not that big of a deal. But to be great at it, like my friends like Matthew, who do a pretty good job, like John Ramos, who's made a living off of, you know, doing this, starting on the sim, right? And hopefully I can follow in his footsteps someday as well. But, you know, you have to know where to look. You have to know where to point the camera. You have to know what to talk about here on the broadcast. You have to know how to fill time, especially right now where we're still waiting on cars to fill out, as we have just over 4 minutes left in practice. This is what, you know, they pay you the big bucks for, is to try to entertain the least entertaining race you can here. See a new entry here, Cody Burmeister. Hopefully I'm saying that right here in the 20 machine. We'll let you guys take a look at that here. Cody Burmeister in the 20. That Sparks root beer machine. You know, I'm more of a A&W guy myself. You know, I know there's some Mug guys. I know there's some Sparks guys. I'm an A&W guy myself. If you guys want to type in chat, what you know, what what team are you on, right? I'm an A&W guy personally, but drivers coming in. Okay, scroll. The Enoch Hancock, Enoch in his Axes machine. Okay. So we got some, you know, a lot of food branded cars here going up here to Talladega. That's funny to me because, you know, for people that don't know or stuff like that, you know, I got to call a race over on the IDK Player YouTube channel when he did, you know, his In Night America, kind of a similar thing to what we're doing here tonight. And, you know, we got to go to Talladega together. I got to try Bojangles for the first time while I was up there in the South, if you want to call it, down there in Nashville, and then going down to Lincoln, Alabama for the Talladega playoff race there. Not only in 2024, but also in 2025, and got to try out all the cool cuisines down there in the South. Obviously, there's Zaxby's and Bojangles and Cookout. Obviously, there's like Waffle House and stuff down there. Like, for people that don't know, like the HVTV studios are here in central Kansas. We don't really have a lot of Waffle Houses, and we definitely don't have, you know, cookouts and stuff like that here, right? We're known for like the Midwest fast food, like Freddy's and Culver's, and the kind of the Midwest style of things, like, and all that stuff. Like Pizza Hut was born here in actually in Wichita, Kansas, not very far from me, right? So Freddy's Freddy's frozen custards and steak burgers was made right here in Kansas as well. So that's what we're used to having, and really cool to see Zaxby's car out on track. Obviously, I haven't got to try Zaxby's yet. Maybe this year when we go back to Talladega again for the playoff race, we can maybe I can give it a try. See how I like it. See the time ticking down here is the only in this three are gonna continue to figure out how to race each other here. Ready to get in qualifying here from Talladega. Well, I would say we got about almost twice as many cars as we had last race, so that's really cool to see. I think we've got around maybe 20-ish cars here that are showing up to Talladega. Hopefully they will stay and race with us here. Um, and hopefully they do a good job in the driver's meeting, you know, showing that if you get laps down, you know, you can come back and get your laps back and all that. You know, one faster pair for these drivers here for Talladega as well, but get a timer ticking down here as we're ready to get into qualifying here from Talladega, and I'm interested to see who even wants to qualify. 21 cars. That's the total number we have now. So that's almost double what we had for that first race, which is a really good insight. Chase Crawl has worked for the network in the past. Obviously, decided to step away from the high velocity TV and everything he does there. Obviously, has his own hobbies. Is he paints cars on the sim. Also, I guess also known for, you know, being Charlie Crawl's son. You know, Charlie who calls races for ARCA and for Flow Racing and for Racing America and all that. Really, really talented commentator in his own right, Charlie Crawl. You know, hopefully, you know, someday I might get a, you know, call some races with him potentially. That'd be really cool. You see Chase doing the cheese here on this outlap. Let's go to a driver who's not going to cheese. How about that? Carter Kingsley. Not on track. See him cut the dog leg here, and that's gonna be something I'm interested to see, who cuts dog leg, who doesn't. Not the cut leg, who cuts the tri-oval. Some people say it's faster, some people say it's slower, so apparently it's fast enough to put Carter on the pole, so fastest lap times right there on the left side of your screen. This Carl crosses the line. Started his first time lap. Cody Baumeister takes the pole here, 54.6. About half a tenth. Here comes Gavin Austin, 54.61. It's always funny to see these arcade machines because they look pretty quick in the pack, but when they're qualifying, they just look like they're just pulling along. They're you know, barely plugging along here. They're all going 176 miles an hour. I mean, this is almost, some people say this is quicker than the Cup car. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but they scroll P3, 54.674. So decent lap by the 88 team. Comes Diego Acuna, 84. Is that a Delta Eagle Designs paint, maybe? I've seen this car out of the 84, so. Timothy Patakos Jr. puts himself in the P11. Let's see what Andreas could do. Not gonna have enough time, so I'm surprised you're doing it this top side. 13, 55.3. Of an outside wall. Crash and burn, he'll go. You'll see your top qualifiers on the left side of your screen as we approach 15 seconds left in qualifying. So 14th, 15th on back decided not to set a qualifying lap. So Campo, Mosteller, Wallace, Rainey Lewis, Contreras, Gilkis, and Rourke. I did not set a lap here. We'll wait on these drivers getting their cars, and we'll get you starting lineup once again here. From Talladega, presented by High Velocity TV. Waiting on these drivers getting to the car. 21 cars who have registered for the session. Hopefully, we can get all those 21 into their vehicles. 15 laps here from Talladega. It'll be a short little sprint race here, the end of the night here on Friday. We approach, the midnight hour here on the East Coast as it now becomes Saturday morning for everybody over on the East Coast. It is now 12:03 p.m. 11:03 here on Central Time here in Central Kansas and for others, and then obviously still later at night there, but still late at night there for the Mountain and Pacific times down there over across the board there. So you're ready to get your starting lineup here presented by High Velocity TV as we will take a look at the qualifying order. The Enoch Hancock, the pole sitter, alongside Gavin Austin. Go back here. There you go, Gavin Austin back there, and in the says it's in the 40 machine. That's definitely not the 40 machine. This looks like it's a mix of ARCA and and Xfinity cars there, but we'll take a look at on the cars here. It looks like it replaced some of the cars and kept some of them from that Xfinity race we did this last part here. But you see Gavin Austin, P2, Chase Crawl, Baumeister back there rounding out that row 4. Carter Kingsley, Jose Sanchez, Barry Sessoms, Mike Simon, Leo Lencina, and Judd Bellew running out that top 10 and running out the rest of the field here. Timothy Patacos Jr., Ethan Miller, Diego Acuna, Owen Spicer, Dino Mosteller, Aldam Contreras, Timothy Rainey Lewis, Miguel Campo, Blake Rourke, Jacob Wallace, and Jimmy Gilkis running out the field tonight. Look and see what your race weather looks like for tonight's race. 80-degree air temp with 85-degree track temp. 45-mile-an-hour wind northeast. Little to no wind, partly cloudy out here in Lincoln, Alabama. So the great night race, and obviously track temp and stuff for these super speedways aren't really going to mean a whole lot. These cars are well gripped up enough that really any kind of track temp you put here on at Talladega. Nick. Okay. Appreciate that. Everybody in the chat. Is it really wrong? Yeah, it probably is wrong. And that's only just because when they register for the session, a lot of these drivers, for instance, Enoch in the lead, he is a 20, but it says a 17 in the sim. So it's really hard, obviously, for these hosteds to get everything to work right. Like, obviously, Gavin Austin has his right number in the 2. Chase Carl in the 88 should be correct. The Carter King's in the 55, but he's running in the 3, right? That's not on our part. That's just part of iRacing, but it is what it is. We appreciate you coming in, Leo Numbers 90, and dropping the chat here. Appreciate you coming in and watching this last race here from Talladega. again. The pace car will take a hard left turn down pit road. Going to be Enoch and Gavin Austin going into the restart zone. Remember, the restart zone all the way down here after the tri-oval. And this race over the barn and the flag man. Getting ready to go green here from Big Eye. Monstrous machines roar down to Alabama, getting super stretched. Gavin Austin, Chase Crawl leads that bottom line. Help from the 20 of Enoch. That's Zaxby's machine. Top lane not really getting rolling right now. That's the 28 of Jose Sanchez trying to get that top side going. Here comes Enoch on the top. Gonna go up in front of that 20 machine. Now you start to see 3 wide further in the back. That's the Mike Simon in the 912 machine, I believe. Across the stripe, Gavin Austin takes your first lap. Trying to get it all single filed out. For the most part, that top 5 out clear. Carter Kingsley, that last car that is clear of all lanes. Back in that 3 machine. He'll pull out of line here. He'll start to lead this top lane. Here comes his crawl. He's going to lead this top side. Here comes Carter Kingsley. We'll get that 88 clear all over the back end of that 88 machine. Trying to make that top side wiggle 9. Now go to the bottom. Now it's going to be Gavin Austin. Chase Crawl on that middle lane. But here comes Mike Simon on that top side. Hope from the 77. Hope from the 87 to Mosteller. And Mike Simon takes your lead here with a huge run down that Alabama gang super stretch as they get ready to go back into turn 3 and 4. Randy Lewis back to the bottom. Hope from Mosteller. Crawl down there in P3s. Oh! Wrecking in the back. Will they call it? They all somehow save it. What a save by all those drivers behind, but that's going to lose a lot of drivers some time. Yeah, everybody's good, though, besides that 90 machine who's slow. That Cracker Barrel machine. Back up to the front. Mosteller takes the race lead. Followed by Crawl. Followed by Rainey Lewis in that 77. The 77 to the top. Going to get help from Mike Simon, but that top starting to lose numbers. Here comes Gavin Austin. Comes up to the top side. He worked with the 77. Will now work with the 87. Mosteller, Austin on the top. Now that 77 has really no help. Oh, Gavin with a huge block too. That's the 43 of Blake Rourke. Some aggressive racing here. Demos split middle. Nowhere for him to go besides the back. From the top. Gavin Austin trying to block middle. Here comes a huge one from the 19. That's Miguel Campo. Top from the 18 of Ethan Miller. Miller pushes them down. Now they'll drop down at the middle lane. And they'll give that top side up to the 92. That's Alabama Contreras. Hope from Enoch, I believe, in that Zaxby's machine. I love this aggressiveness. They haven't stopped this aggressiveness since the drop of the green flag. And everybody been able to keep it going outside of the 90 machine of Lucina. Currently a lap down. 23. They shoved to the 20 of Enoch. Gavin Austin will go up there and block that run. All the way down on the apron. He's going to have to give up all these spots. Like that, Aladdin can trace to the point. Help from Chase Crawl, help from Daniel Monsteller. So that's help from Diego Acuna. Emily looking front ends on those machines. Go 2-3 wide contact between the 84 in that bottom lane. Nick will lead the bottom. This is 28D. Whoa, a back shove to the 84. Enoch gets out of line. Maybe he got spooked there. And there goes the 84. Acuna off the back bumper. Off the back bumper of someone. Caution away. Look back and see what happened. Shot in the back to the 84. That was the first contact. Obviously, you can't push the pusher. And it just looked like that sack up. Enoch came up the track, spooks. Someone came up and hooked that 84 down the track, and just calamity ensues behind. See a bunch of cars and all that's Gavin Austin. Caught up in this mess. He's grab walking. Well, luckily these drivers all have at least one fast repair. Some of these drivers are gonna have to use it. This will be interesting, right? Because we should be going to green with, what, 6 to go? 5 to go, maybe? Not a lot of laps to get this thing settled now once we get that caution. Once again, appreciate everybody coming out and watching the broadcast tonight. Obviously, kind of a new thing here on the network, so we don't expect to get to be a one-hit wonder here. So we don't expect this thing to pop up and just take over here. But we do appreciate everybody coming out, and at the very least, we appreciate the drivers for coming out, racing in the lobbies. Because if they wasn't racing, we wouldn't be doing this tonight. So. We still have lights on a pace car, which means we'll be going to green most likely with a 5 to go. So a 5-lap shootout here from Talladega. Some of your favorites gonna have to come to the field. Gavin Austin catching to the back end of the pack here, but we'll be starting back in P17. Mike Simon made some good moves throughout these first 2 races. He's back there at P18. Definitely gonna be interesting. Would you still see lights on the pace car? One car out of the race right now. That is the 43. Not a very good angle on that car, unfortunately. But here we go. We should be getting a white flag lap this time. We do see the lights off on the pace car. We'll be having a 5-lap shootout here from Talladega. There'll be a Ford Toyota front row and then a Chevy Toyota rounding out that fast 4. Here we go. 2x2 all stacked up. Chad, who do you think is your favorite to go ahead and take it here for our last race of the night? I think it might be the 87 Mazda, maybe the 92, maybe the 88, maybe someone all the way in the back. You see Gavin Austin back there. Maybe Acuna in the back, right? Here we go. Coming out of 3 and 4 for the final time, I believe. We are. This time it's going to be Marcelo and Sanchez who leads us back to green. Here we go, back green. 28. And Sanchez with a decent jump off with the 87. Marcelo will go out and push out. No. Yes, we'll push out that 28 for now. That allows Chase Crawl to get clear with that 28. Now it's going to be the Zaxby's machine alongside pushing that 87 out. Going to be, he must is clear if he wants to, is going to push that 28 out. Going to drop down low. He's going to lead the inside line now. Well, now I'd like to drop to the back. I'll give the race lead back over to 28. Here comes Chase Crawl underneath the apron. 4 wide here from Talladega. Wrecking in the back. They save it. We should keep it green. Oh! Gavin Austin kind of door checks the 92 there. You can't be happy about that. And now look at that. Acuna, Austin, the Crawl, side by side for the race lead, going with 4 to go. Gavin prevails with 84, gets put in the sucker hole at the final line here to make up some time, and now it's Chase Crawl. And now Acuna gets some help here on that middle line. See the 2, Gavin Austin leaning here, good block on the 28. Now then comes the 21. Another M&M's car up here in the fray. You'll see 2x2 for the race lead now. See those top 2 get clear. Chase Crawl jump down. He will. Oh. We'll blink out of the machine there, but okay. Going to 3 to go. We do have some storms in the area, so we do apologize for that. wrecking. Oh, here comes the 20 up the track. Caution will wave here. We'll get NASCAR overtime here in Talladega. What happened to Enoch here? So Enoch, where is that? I think it's doored down the track here. By the 28. Bad block. Unfortunately, Enoch can't get that car slowed down, and up the track he goes. Collecting a lot of cars with him. And that's half the field right there that got tore up. You imagine there's going to be quite a few cars coming down pit side here. What is this? Mike Simon grabbing down here down pit road. Already used his fast repair, so gonna have to try to tough it out, I believe. Carter Kingsley luckily had a fast repair, came down and used it. Just like that. Your front three. 28 to 87. And the 2 of Austin. Going back there in P4. I want Spicer back there. I think that's your top 5 in that 21 M&M's machine. Go back down here. We'll go to NASCAR overtime. We should see the 1 to go this time by. We should be getting the white flag this time by. We'll see them go 2 by 2 once again. 87 of Rainey Lewis and Sanchez back there. In the 92. Interesting. It's given a 28 to 92 number. That is weird. That is, you guys are right. Here we go. You're ready to go green. 77 to 28. But we'll get ready to go 2x2. NASCAR overtime. And 77 at 28. We apologize for like the numbers being off. I think we're just loading into separate sessions. I helped it. Here we go. We'll turn it off here. Go ahead and turn off the custom numbers. How about that? We get ready to go green here from Talladega. Two by two. We get ready to go back into the restart zone. The 28 with a good jump here as we get ready to go back green. Top side rolling pretty good. The 84 with a huge jump. Gonna try to jump down. Not clear. Andreas gonna have to get put in the sucker hole. 28 with a huge jump out though. The 77. Here comes Rainey Lewis with the run. Will he jump up high? He will. He'll take Chase Crawl. 77, good pushes from Chase Crawl. Now Chase Crawl goes up top. Help from Mosteller on that top side. Here comes the 77, going to go down low. Gavin Austin will try to spearhead this middle lane. Help from Enoch in the 20. Came down, took that fast repair. Carter Kingsley in that middle lane as well. But here comes the bottom with the huge one. We are ready to go down into the dog leg through the tri-oval to take the white flag here. Rainey Lewis takes the white flag here. 1 to go here from Talladega. He gets shuffled out there. Here comes the 28. Jose Sanchez. Help from the 43 of Rourke. Here comes Gavin Austin on the top side. Gavin turns the 77 into the outside wall. Huge wreck in the back. Caution will not wave. It's going to be a battle of the fittest here. the 43, Rourke. The 21 of Owen Spicer. Here comes Todd Ballou. Carter Kingsley going to jump out. Here comes Enoch with a block. Where does Enoch go? Enoch going to take it. Here comes Carter Kingsley. Carter Kingsley going to get clear. And he's going to win race 2 here from Talladega. Congratulations, Carter Kingsley. Win number 1 here in the HPTV lobbies. Carter Kingsley takes it here from Talladega. Congratulations, Carter. We'll see him go across the front stretch here and burn it down here. Across the start finish line. Dragon Carter Kingsley here. We continue to celebrate. Carter, Christian up here in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, We tried to. Here we go. Carter, it's Christian up here in the booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, what's up, Delgado?
Well, first of all, congratulations. First win here in the HPTV lobbies. First, only in, in your first attempt at that. So, first of all, congratulations to that. And 1-for-1. Hopefully, we can keep that streak going. But obviously, we saw that big right there going to the white or on the white. And you were able to get through that big one. And then obviously, we saw those other guys just trying to race each other. And you were just able to find a gap there and get across the line first.
Yeah, I was like fourth in line in the middle, coming to the white flag. The people in front of me just wrecked. I saw people right behind me on my mirror just coming up the track. I barely missed that. I was able to stay in the draft with like the last 5 cars, and I'm just pushing the crap out of these guys. I'm the last car in that lead pack after the crash, and they go too wide. I'm able to sneak to the bottom. The green M&M's car gets turned by the guy I was originally pushing. I was just able to sneak through without even going below the yellow.
Yeah, obviously it was an exciting finish. Obviously, we saw the big one involving Gavin Austin, and then you were able to sneak your way through. So congratulations on your first win here, and wish you, I guess, a great rest of the weekend as this is the last race of the stream. Congratulations. We'll hopefully get to talk to you some more later on.
Yeah, thank you for putting this on. Thank you for Demos for race control and everything, and Gavin for also getting this running. So yeah, just big thanks to HBTV family.
Carter Kingsley comes home victorious here from Talladega, and just like that, everybody, I think it's time to call it a night here from Lincoln, Alabama. We appreciate everybody coming out and typing in the chat. We appreciate everybody coming out. If you guys are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate, hitting the subscribe button on the on here on High Velocity TV, or if you're watching over, I guess, on twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. We really appreciate that as well. But we're really doing this for the network to try to grow and get some viewers over here. But if you're new to the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. Consider dropping a like on the broadcast if you had fun racing, or if you just had fun watching the broadcast. Obviously, here by myself. Hopefully, we can have some rotating cast and characters up here in the booth once we get, up on our feet a little bit more. If we continue to do some more of these HVTV lobbies, but from myself, Christian Delgado up here in the HVTV booth, we appreciate everybody coming out and watching the broadcast through and through, and hopefully we can continue to put on some more of these throughout the year, throughout several years here, if we can get enough people who want us to continue to do this. But once again, hope everybody has a good rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday for everybody. It's almost midnight here now, Central Time, as it's 11:36 here on the Central Plains here in Kansas. So I think it's time to wrap it up. All tonight, but we appreciate everybody coming out. Hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend. Enjoy the rest of the O'Reilly and Cup racing there at Darlington for the throwback and all that stuff as we continue our week. But hope everybody has a good rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon.